everyone, and welcome to Beam Docs, everything you wanted to ask but were afraid to. My name is Juliana, and I work in marketing here at MicroCAD. And today's presenter is Julian Niño, our applications engineer. By the end of the webinar, you will see how you can use this tool to organize, distribute, and share files using this cloud-based common data environment, which is definitely worth 30 minutes of your time. Throughout the webinar, as you know, you can ask a question at any given point on the left-hand corner. You can ask Julian to revisit a step or ask any questions. This is your time, and we want you to make the most of it. And in the upper left-hand corner, you will find links to our YouTube channel, website, and social media. So yeah, you make sure to check our YouTube channel. We post all of our webinars there at the end, so you can share with colleagues or rewatch it on your own time. And without further ado, we'll pass it on to Julian.
Thank you, Juliana, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and let's jump right into this subject. So Autodesk DOCS, everything that you wanted to ask about DOCS, were you afraid to ask? And right from the start, so what is DOCS, right? So Autodesk DOCS, as Juliana mentioned, is basically document management across either the life cycle of your project, or it's going to be the single source of information for your project. So right here, you're going to be able to share with your team. You're going to be able to share with third-party consultants. So when it comes to document management, you're going to be able to use different project files, such as Revit, AutoCAD. You can use PDF, Excel spreadsheets. And the most important part about this software right here, when it comes to Autodesk, is that you can define permissions for your users, right? So you can see which user is going to see what. You can as well have a nice viewer that is going to allow you to create different submittals or revision on your project, and as well to make sure that, well, you can create transmittals for those elements, right? You can create issues, you can create markups. And what is really nice about Autodesk DOCS is that it's a program and a feature that is going to be standalone or is going to be part of your AEC collection. So for those AEC users that are not aware of what is Autodesk DOCS, that this feature is going to be available for you. And you can see right there that you have multiple features when it comes to users management of different programs, as well as connection for your company and other companies that work with you. So when it comes to Autodesk DOCS, the first question that we always get is, well, where is it, right? Because you will see, if I have the AEC collection, why I cannot use DOCS. So the first thing that we would like to respond today is that if you have the AEC collection, you need to go ahead to your manage account. And the first thing is make sure that you view all the items included in your account. And from there, you should be able to see the DOCS for AEC collection. If you don't have access to an AEC collection, but you want to purchase DOCS as a standalone item, or maybe just use it on your own, once you purchase, you're going to see it on your managed account. So right there, you're going to be able to see this same icon right here. And I know we were used to the old icons, but with these new icons, you just need to get a little bit familiar. They are going to be slightly different where we used to see. So right there, just make sure that you read next to the label, which product are you using. So once you're here and once you notice that you have access to your DOCS, right? The next thing that you're going to find out is when you access it, because you're going to click access now, right, guys? You're going to get to this browser site. So what is going to happen is going to ask you, select your destination. And you will say, well, this is a lot of information right here because Autodesk has different set of products between them is going to be Autodesk DOCS. So what is going to happen is you are going to be a little bit confused at first, but this is a nice feature right here that they implemented, because they are going to allow you to go to all your unified projects. So for example, if your company already has maybe Autodesk Build and Autodesk Beam Collaborate or Autodesk Takeoff, you can as well go to the platform where you have Autodesk DOCS, and all your programs, features, and projects are going to be located right here on your unified project list for the US. And the other option you have is, if you are already familiar with BIM 360, or you have worked previously on BIM 360 with other companies, or you have access to other projects, you can as well continue using BIM 360. The layout is going to be similar, but you're going to have access as well to your docs. So that sometimes is going to be the first question that clients and customers ask us or Autodesk. I cannot see docs. So right here, there it is. It's in your account. So from there, what I want to mention is, when it comes to docs, mainly is going to have three factors. So you're going to have, the first thing is the option to manage a lot of document control, right? So you're going to be able to manage a lot of volume when it comes to versions, right? And as well, you have the option to release accurate data for your users and colleagues. Then the other feature that we have is, well, Docs is up to date when it comes to have and increase the demand for technology and to have access to your files at any time. So when it comes to versioning, is going to happen on real time, and it's going to allow you to collaborate on real time. And last but not least, is going to allow you to comply with the legal requirements as well as the standards that are required for each type of project, or even within your company, that you're required to have and follow some level or of structure when it comes to your documents, right? So this is going to be really good for document management and control of your documents, especially when it comes to collaboration efforts. The next thing that I want to mention is, well, you know which technologies we have on today, right? When it comes to use. So most of the companies, we are facing this cloud-based collaboration. So right there, we have different type of softwares and companies that provide this option to share our documents, right? Even if it's Teams or Google Drive or Dropbox, all these companies that offered us the option to manage our documents, but at the same time, we are going to move in a great amount of documents in PDF. And you need real-time creation of editing of your PDF software. You need to create markups, right? You need to merge and split files. And last but not least, we have a bunch of field apps that are going to allow you to pick up a set of drawings and bring it to the job site, right? Or maybe you are on a meeting and you need to show one of your files to one of your clients. So all of that is in different applications right there. But when it comes to docs, well, you have just an app for that. So across all these three technologies, we are going to be able to use them just in one place. So we are going to be able to cloud storage, file sharing, giving access rights to our users, right? We can as well have version control of our files. So this is something that is really important when it comes to your meetings and the advance of your projects, because from some time we are going to start working on a big amount of projects, different projects for different companies, and we are going to start having issues when it comes to managing all that files and documents. Then when it comes to PDF creation, markups, and sharing, we are going to have it on the same time. And last but not least, when it comes to the field apps, we are going to have offline access, we can access this platform from our cell phones, from our tablets, from our desktops, and we are going to be able to share this information in real time. So everything that it comes to Autodesk DOCS or all the other platforms that I mentioned related to DOCS, such as BIM 360, Build, and Takeoff, is that this platform hosts the capacities and the capabilities across all areas, right? So we can publish, we can share, we can view, make some markups, and this is going to be just in the line of your workload and your projects, right? So we just need to make sure that we have this workflow to make sure that our teams understand how we manage the information and how can we share it with another company as well on our clients. So the capabilities, just a slight resume that we have right here, is that we have a workflow for version and change control, document control, and approvals. And a couple of features that we want to mention is that we have a nice viewer when it comes to docs. We have an option to process our sheets. We have management of the metadata, and we can work with markups and annotations on real time, which is really, really nice. Right here, a couple of features that we have. The first one that I want to share with you is the design change management. So most of the time, we are going to see a great amount of projects where we ask for changes, we ask for different design options. And right here, when it comes to docs, it has this nice viewer that is going to allow us to bring 2D from our DWG files, right, from AutoCAD, from our PDF, as well as 3D files from our Revit models. So you can see right here that with this option on design change management, I can see the different changes that happen to my model. So I have the option to just go ahead and select the options that I want to show when it comes to graphical changes, right? We also have the option on 3D, well, to show the geometric changes. And as well, I can decide if I want to create or make sure that the designer that is working for this project is going to be able to see if the changes that he or she made were up to the expectations that we create. Another feature that we have right here, and it's going to be really useful, especially for those users that do not have AutoCAD or don't have Revit, but they do have access to the management control of BIM docs or right here or Autodesk docs, is that you can go ahead and create comments and markups directly on the platform. And this supports both environments, 2D and 3D. And the nice feature about these markups is that you can assign them to a user, right? Or assign it to yourself to make sure that every comment that you make is going to be tracked on the life cycle of your project. So you don't need any proprietary software to view or comment or markup right here, just the docs access. So this will be really useful for managers, right? So let's say you don't have time to get like really nitty and gritty with when it comes to your Revit model, but you actually just want to show a section. You can ask your designer, okay, I need to take a look of the first level. Please send me a view that I can work with. And from there, I can jump between 3D, 2D, make those red lines, make those comments, and we are going to be collaborating, and it's going to be really nice and easy for all the team. Last feature that I want to show right here, and it's going to be really, really useful for those managers as well. And the same at the design level, if you have questions for one of your supervisors or any other of your teammates, is that you can find issues when it comes to your drawing. And maybe you want to communicate this as well with your third-party consultants. Maybe you're an MEP engineer and you need help or assistance from the structural, or the structural needs help from the fire protection guy. He can use this platform right here on 2D or 3D view to create an issue and ask for assistance, right? Or you're just at the point to share your set with the city, right? You're working on that permit set, but you still see that there are some details that are missing on your project, right? You can use this feature right here to share it with your company and your clients and your designers. So let me now jump in directly to the software so I can show you some additional features that are going to be really useful when it comes to the use of docs. Just give me a minute. Let me bring right here one of our sample projects. So right there. So this is going to be either your main hub of your Autodesk DOCS project, right? And the first thing that most of people ask us when it comes to Autodesk is that, well, this has a slight change, right? When it comes to BIM 360. Well, the thing is, yes, Autodesk did a slight change, and now it's named the Autodesk Construction Cloud. So if you start from the get-go on Autodesk Docs, the first thing that you're going to notice is this change on the platform. So if you are familiar with BIM 360, the layout is going to be a little bit the same. It's just change on background colors. Right there, I can see a question. We are consultant to an architect who gave us access to BIM 360 for a designated project. This BIM 360 folder has now migrated to Autodesk Docs. Our firm now has AC collection. If I download and activate a copy of Docs, will this folder from the other firm will be merged into? Yeah, so on that one, that's a great question because a lot of users have experience in that. So the first thing that you need to notice when it comes to BIM 360 or Docs is the following. Right here on the top left, you are going to go either to your account admin or right here in this area where you see the project names, you will need to go and find the project that you were assigned to. So for example, right here, this is a feature that I like to show our customers. If you see this B icon right here,
I'm sorry, we have a question. Sorry to interrupt you.
yeah, Julie, I'm replying to that question
Oh, okay.
from Greg. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So right here in this area, you're going to notice this blue icon. So this blue icon is going to be related to your BIM 360 designated project, right? But then this round icon right here that looks like a world is going to be a file that was created using BIM docs. So you actually do not need to go ahead and get worried if you have not activated your BIM docs yet. You just need to make sure that when they share the project, right, that you are going to have access to that actual project. So just make sure that when they give you access, you are going to see this area right here for your project admin or for your account admin. But if the project was created on BIM 360, in some cases, you are going to keep the old layout and background when it comes to BIM 360. So right here, you can see that as this project was created on BIM 360, I'm going to be able to keep using that document. I will just recommend to launch your docs. So that way, if you get another project creating the new Autodesk Construction Cloud, it's going to be available for you. And when it comes to merging, it's going to be completely fine. Right here on your account admin, you will get to this page right here. In this case, you can see our MicroCAD site. And the other difference that you will see is, well, you're going to have your same projects, right? With this slight difference that you will see, well, some of them have been created on the construction cloud and the other ones have been created with the BIM 360. And if you were wondering, where is this location? to see my projects, right here, the slight difference when it comes to both sides is for the construction cloud is the acc.autodesk.com account admin, and for BIM 360 is going to be admin.b360.autodesk.com/admin. So with that in mind, you shouldn't get worried when it comes to merging of your projects. Just make sure that when they invite you, they give you the right permissions for your projects. Let me go back where we were, and that was a great question. That is something that usually most users are experiencing with this slight change. So let me go back. Oh, now that we are here, this is also a great question that happens to a lot of users. Because if you're familiar with your account admin of BIM 360, it's just a slight change. Some people say it's faster. I think it's just the same. You're going to see right here, search of project name, and I'm just going to type docs. In this case, it's docs demo. And you can see as well that the name right here is going to see platform, and it's going to show us in which platform the project was created. So from right here, I can right away jump into that project. And the same thing is going to happen right here on my admin account. So if I hit docs, I'm going to see docs demo. The slight difference is going to be this guy right here. It's not going to be named platform. It's going to be named type. So just a slight change. Another nice feature that I would like to show is I know a lot of users are really familiar with BIM 360. And when it comes to adding members, you come right here and you are your members. It's pretty nice and easy, right? Project members. With the construction cloud and BIM docs especially, is not going to be those tabs right here on the top. They are going to be right here located to the left. And it's just the same. Right here, you can add your members and you can give them your permissions. But the thing is, a slight difference when it comes to the projects. So let me try to find one right here. One that we can share and show. This guy right here. So when it comes to the project admin, the slight difference between the two is that account admin, you are going to manage everything in your company, but on the project admin, it's only related to the project. Same thing is going to happen right here on docs. But the main feature that you're going to see is that you actually need to be inside of your project. So let's go to my guide docs right here. You're going to see the same feature, right? Project admin, account admin. This is some way confusing for some users because when you are on the project admin, usually you can see the users, right? You can see your admin, you can see the users, but once they open the project, they cannot see anything. And this used to happen when we start with docs, and it was a slight change, but you just need to get a little bit accustomed to it, is on the BIM 360 administration, after you assign the user and you give the role, they are going to have access to the document management, or maybe on this project, you want to add another service. So in this case, the service where you were accustomed to on docs, maybe it's just the document management, but if you are working on BIM 360, you're going to be using maybe model coordination or design collaboration. So right here used to be on top, services, right? With docs and the ACC construction cloud, you're going to try to look for your services. So right here, you will say, okay, maybe on settings. No, it's not there. What is bridge? And I'm going to go and look and see, okay, so bridge is a way to get started with BIM or docs. Well, I don't see my services. So where are they? So this is really important. After you add your members, make sure to go right here to the right. So if you select one of your members, in this case, this is me, and I'm the project admin, in this section right here, if you only have docs, you should be able to turn on your docs and insight. But if you have an access to build or Bing Collaborate Pro, you will have access to design collaboration and model coordination. So right here is the area where you actually want to assign the products to your users. So from this section right here, this is the next step, and this is important for docs. I already defined my members, right? So right here I have Andrea, and Andrea is only going to be maybe a plumbing engineer, and she's a plumbing member. I only going to give her access to docs and insight. And once we have that defined, we want to go to our docs. In case of docs, I'm going to have a similar layout to the one we were accustomed with BIM 360, right? So right here, let me jump to document management. So we have a comparison of the two platforms. So right here, you are going to have this layout. On the left, we are going to see our plans, our project files, and on the top, we are going to see the options for this project, right? On Autodesk Docs, it's going to be just the same. The slight change that we have is right here. We have the option for the field, and I believe this is because I have build access on this account as well. But we can see the same layout. So project fields, architecture, all the other files that I have created. And this is the important part. When it comes to the members, so right here, you are actually on your project now created. You're going to select your members, and right here, you have the option to either remove a member. Once again, make sure that they have access to docs. But when it comes to the files, you actually need to come here and define the permissions for your users. So this is really important because remember, I have Andrea as part of my project, but right now I'm the only user that has access to these documents. So this is something that most of our users are having trouble finding, right? So after you define those project files, make sure the next step is that we have our members, we have our project created, we have our subfolders. Now start assigning those users to those specific folders. So from right there, we will start with our company, right? So I want to make sure that, well, Andrea, which I just added, has access on a permission level. So when it comes to the permissions, just make sure they are adequate for your company, then for the third-party consultants, and maybe at the end for someone that you just want to share a file with, right? Let's say, for example, I'm talking with a contractor and I need to make sure that they send us an spec sheet for something. I just will say, well, I just need you to view files, right? So I'm going to tell that contractor, hey, please go ahead to that test folder right there and take a look of the files that I just upload on this area. And please let me know your reply. So they are going to see just that file right there, and they are going to send me an email back with the information that I'm asking. Then for our company members, I'm going to go back to the permissions, and right there, you have the option to later change those permissions for that user. So remember, on our BIM 360, everything needs to be done from our project admin, right? So on our project admin, you need to go there, check the members, right? And when it comes to the members, right here, I can turn on and turn off all our users, right? But on docs, it's going to give you more information when it comes to who can do what in our project. So this is really important. Most of the users of the company, they either are going to have an edit permission or a create permission. only if you're the admin or if you find that someone else part of your company needs to be the admin for that project can have access to the whole project folder. There we go. Another question that we have a lot is the following. So when it comes to the viewer, so right here, let me try, let me see if I have a drawing right here. Yeah. So right here, when it comes to the viewer had a slight change. Is nothing like crazy, and most of the time it comes with the type of viewer you're using, especially if you are on docs. You're limited to the tools that you have for docs, but if you have a BIM Collaborate Pro seat, you're going to be able to see additional features. So when it comes to right here, the layout that we have is going to share the same features right here when it comes to moving, panning, measuring, all that. But remember, on BIM 360, or if you have access to a BIM 360 project, right here on the left, you were used to see the option for different settings, right? Sometimes it just takes a slight change to make sure that everything of your tools are going to be located right here. So when it comes to sheets and views, you're going to see them right here. If you have an option for a 3D view, it's going to be placed right here as well. Your layers are going to be maintained right here. So later, I'm going to try to open a DWG. You're going to see those as well. And right here on the left, you have the markups. So right here, this is something that confuse a little bit our users. But first, you need to actually create a markup from right here. So you can see the markup created, and automatically you're going to see the user who created, right? And if you want to publish it, so this is something additional that you have to have in mind. So when it comes to publishing, right now, this is created by me, right? I'm the only one that has access to that. So if I publish it, this is going to be available for all the users who are viewing this document. And last but not least, right here, if I create an issue, this is important right here as well. When it comes to creating issues, you just need to make sure that the options that you have for your docs for some users are not going to be available right here. To actually create an issue, you need to either go out of your drawing, then select the option for issues, and then create an issue. So in this case, I will say one of the files uh, from my project, because sometimes they are not going to be available on your viewer. So just remember that, because that is something that also confuses our docs users. Then let me take you right here. So this is DWG that is going to be used as well. And you are going to see a slight different change when it comes from a PDF to an actual drawing or a Revit file, because you also have the option to view Revit files. So right here, you're going to keep working with your layers. You can see that on a meeting, maybe you want to show all this information right here on your project, right? In addition to that, we have our viewpoints, if you have created them on AutoCAD. Then we have an option for model browser. So you will see right there that, well, I have blocks on my drawing, right? Maybe I have some text on my drawing that I want to show, and you can see those features as well. And you can see as well, well, someone else created a cloud area right here, so I can continue working with those details and publish them as well. Any other than that, the viewer is going to be just the same as on BIM 360. So don't get worried if you cannot find any feature. Something that I always like to show to our users, and it took me some time to find it. So right here, and sometimes it's a little bit sneaky. You can barely see it. Right here, click on that guy right there and ask for help. So usually we just are skipping our tutorials, right? We are that type of people that open some equipment that they just bought and they go ahead and hide the instructions. So Autodesk Docs and any other file in software with Autodesk sometimes are going to show us some tutorial. You can go ahead and select it, has great information. And if not, try to go and look on each one of your Autodesk products for this guy right here. And once you click it, you can find the help option right there. So when it comes to the help option, if you have any questions on issues, right? So what are issues? So right here are going to tell us the information that we need to know, right? Then right here, creating issues. Where can I create an issue? Especially for docs, right? And if you have any other questions, well, I want to know what is Autodesk Docs, right? And if you don't have access to your AEC collection that includes docs, right? And if you are just trying to get a new license of docs, I believe you can use the trial. And from right there, you can start seeing, well, what are the main difference between the three. So those are the features that I wanted to show you today, guys, and also bring the frequently asked questions that we receive with our customers, especially the difference between the BIM 360 platform, the Docs platform, and if we are going to be available to migrate our projects, or if they are going to be available right there. So without further ado, we can jump into more questions if some users have more questions.
Thank you, Juli, for that wonderful presentation. And as a reminder for everybody, you can ask a question on the left-hand corner. I already see questions coming in, and the first one is, what is the difference between Autodesk Docs and BIM 360 Docs?
All right. So the main difference, and this is important, and this also was led to Greg question. So I will say around last year, um, they changed and they rebranded what used to be named BIM 360 Docs to Autodesk Docs. So with the change, they have the same support, and the product mainly is going to focus on document management for your projects and for the construction cloud. So if you remember right here, what I was showing the different layouts, right here. This is going to be the main feature. This is part of the construction cloud. So you can name this one as the, I'm sorry, this one as the parent. And from there, we are going to have access to BIM Collaborate, Build, Docs, and Takeups. In addition to that, if you have a subscription, what it used to be named BIM 360 Docs, you can continue using the BIM 360 platform. So that's why you can still see this platform right here for your company, but it's going to keep this new name right here. You can still see that it's named Autodesk Construction Cloud. It wasn't showing like this before. And last but not least, I will say with Autodesk Docs, the subscribers can have access to both platforms, and that's what I show on the previous question from Greg. So you can see both platforms. You can see the construction cloud, and you can see the BIM 360 cloud.
Okay, thank you, Juli. Next question is, what is the difference between Autodesk Docs and BIM 360 Design?
Okay, so I will say when it comes to Docs, Docs is mainly for a data environment, right? That is going to give you the option to do document management as well as control your project team, right? Um, and that is like a good feature, right? Common data environment. While what it used to be BIM 360 design, they rename it, and now that is what is called BIM Collaborate Pro, right? So when you used to have this BIM 360 design, maybe you're familiar as well with collaboration with Revit. Maybe you were familiar with cloud sharing, and that now is going to be what we call BIM Collaborate Pro. And when it comes to BIM Collaborate Pro, which is really nice, is that BIM Collaborate Pro also includes Autodesk DOCS, plus additional capabilities for design, collaboration, and model coordination. So right here, let me take you to my project admin, and you will see right here. So as an example, I do have a license for BIM Collaborate Pro. So if I wish to have access to these products, what it used to be BIM 360 Design, now BIM Collaborate Pro, you can turn on and off these two features right here. So you will have access to design collaboration and model coordination, which used to look like this. On your services, it used to look like model coordination, design collaboration. Only if you have a license of BIM 360 Design, or if now you have a license of BIM Collaborate Pro.
Amazing. Thank you, Juli. And we have a question, but I can actually take this one from Elena. Said, will this information be available as a recording? And yes, for everyone, for all the attendees, we will send the on-demand recording tomorrow, and it will be also be up on our YouTube channel. So yes. And we have the last question, and it says, what is Autodesk Docs used for?
All right, that's a great question. And I believe that as a frequently asked question as well for Autodesk. So when it comes to Autodesk Docs, and as you can see, sometimes it's hard to find within your products or find it as a standalone product, right? So Autodesk create this software as it is. It used to be named BIM 360 Docs, now rebranded to Autodesk Docs. They found this really nice feature that you need a common data environment that is going to be useful for you and your project team, right? So either if you use it as a standalone or is part of your AEC team and AEC collection, it's going to give you this feature to simplify collaboration, right? And simplify that data management for your design construction and for streamlining your reviews, your approvals, your workflows. And it's mainly going to be this hub where you're going to have your data, your documents, because you can see right here that Docs is not just limited to Autodesk products. So right here, I have PDF files, right? I have Microsoft Excel files. Even the viewer is going to be available for you. So right here, I just have a silly message, but you get the point. So if you need to have your Excel spreadsheet where you did estimation for your project and you want to upload it, then later share it with your team, right? Send it to your client, send it to your third-party consultant. You can use this viewer, you can use this tool to share information, right? And it's all the files that you can use and have right here as it is right now. I'm just showing you a Revit model. Is not going to be the same as design collaboration or model coordination, but I can use this feature right here to use on a meeting, to use on my project site, right? So what is Autodesk Docs used for? You have right here all your projects, your data that you want to show, your document management, and control of your entire project team.
Thank you, Juli. And as a reminder for everyone, if you want to learn these topics in detail, you can always take a custom training with Julian or someone else on our team. We also offer group classes online. So yeah, be sure to be checking the MicroCAD website for future webinars. And that concluded our webinar today. Thank you everybody for attending. And thank you, Julian.
Thank you, Juliana, for the presentation as well, and thank you guys for the questions. I know Autodesk Docs is one of those hidden gems, and definitely, if you have access to it, go ahead and try it. And if you have any questions, you have our contact information, and as you can see, more webinars coming.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.